Go gathering, they said. It will be fun. They said, oh, it doesn't look like fun to you. It's weird, it's scrunched. If this would be like a little bit of a more luxurious material, it could be a Bottega Veneta design or something. Does that sound weird? No, not at all. Just, what was that word again? Arrogant. There you go. But let's roll that back sewing tutorial, shall we? So the time has come to officially say goodbye. The fashion police has spoken.
You're out. Can I go now?
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where we take old clothes and make it fashion. The vibe we're going for, you see them a lot, these kind of scrunched bags, like the casual kind of little shopper tote bag, but then made from one strip of jeans. So I hope it's gonna work. Today, we will refashion our old skinny jeans. It's over. But first I'm doing a little test to see if this fabric manipulation technique even looks nice on the black denim. Before we ruin all our jeans. You can do this with a hand stitch, but I believe you can also do it on the sewing machine. That would be what I would first try now. Oh, pedal. So I'm stitching straight lines in the fabric without attaching the thread or fixating it with a back and forth stitch, and leave the ends just hanging a little bit like this so that you have the threads on both sides. I'm going for a very wide stitch length, which will impact the appearance of the gathering. So you might even want to do a few tests to test out different stitch lengths. Yours truly could not really be bothered.
Hey, B, not bothering!
I hope this is gonna work like this, guys. I really don't feel like doing it by hand. And if you also often have the feeling that you have no control over what's happening in your life, then hello, nice to meet you. You're not alone. But I have some great news. Because for once, it's time for us to pull the strings. Okay, so I guess it works. I just learned on this wonderful phenomenon called the internet that you can actually have like a gathering foot on your sewing machine. If you have one, you might want to try that out, but I don't think I own one, unfortunately. So we're gonna do it the hard way. So I'm gonna rip strips of about 6.5 centimeters. Run. Do you see that dust?
Dust!
Oh, I boiled water. This is an extra strong thread, so I don't think you have to take necessarily a super strong thread, but don't take the weak ones, the cheap ones. For the pulling it might get really annoying if you have to hand pull and it breaks. A denim needle.
I might go with the thinner thread on top, because this one maybe too thick to sew it, but on the bottom I have a thicker one.
So on the bottom you're gonna pull.
My life starts to make complete sense again.
First we're gonna connect all the strips. It's gonna be one long snake crawling around. Absolutely beautiful. And although we like to be quirky, gonna tone it down for a second and sew the strips together like you would normally would, meaning normal stitch length, 1 centimeter seam allowance, and a moderately good move. At least still. Don't worry, it's all gonna make sense in a minute, I hope. Yeah, I thought it was much longer. Maybe I sew on one more and then we can just start gathering and see what we end up with. It'll shrink like a little wiener when you take a cold bath. Sorry, I couldn't think of any other analogy. So now I'm just gonna sew in the gathering stitches, what I did before. It's all gonna be exactly the same, meaning 2 parallel stitches in the seam allowances with a big stitch length. But I'm not gonna sew all the way the 4 meters to the end. When I come to a seam, I'm gonna stop. Don't forget to not fixate. I'll leave the thread hanging. Surprise! The thread breaks! This was supposed to be the easy part. Hello. And if 2 seams are like 1 meter apart or something, I divide it in 2 and only sew my stitches halfway through, because then it will be easier to gather later. And I'm using the same color of thread now as my fabric, so that later I can save myself some time by forgetting to get them out. Wink wink.
Nobody's gonna know.
Oh no. Who needs a gathering foot? I don't know what's happening, guys. Somehow the machine is gathering for me without a gathering foot. Go gathering, they said. It will be fun. They said, oh, it doesn't look like fun to you. Begin like a wrecking ball.
Tomorrow.
Ow! Oh, fuck. Wow. That can't ruin the joy. Now it's it's time to come together. Together. That was a pun. So funny. What we're gonna do, you know this song? Push it. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull.
It's the opposite.
In case you're wondering. Search for all the ends of the thread with a little bit of gentleness and feeling. It will be probably easiest to pull the bottom thread. Up to you how much you want to gather. But I feel like I have to do quite a lot because the fabric is quite thick. I do want it to have a little bit of an effect. Then you can just take the two threads that are next to each other and lie a knot. Lie a knot, make a knot, double knots to be extra secure. I'm not gonna let anything be a coincidence anymore. At this time, I'm just doing calculated business, okay? And while the other one is still adjustable, you can still kind of gather a little more. Wow, that's a lot of gather.
Visitors.
What the hell?
No more visitors.
Technically, I want this stripe to be still straight here. So it has to be gathered on both sides to the same extent.
A few minutes later.
Shoveling my fabric over the threads like this. It is kind of fun. A boring life like me. You can still manipulate it a little bit once the knots are in there. Well, this was lots of fun to do. I might see if I can get a gathering food somewhere because actually it was a little annoying. But we made it. And we will continue bravely. I have a little surprise. So I found some yellow fabric in my closet that I got gifted from someone, and I think this is gonna act as the facing / lining at the same time. I cut strips in the same width. We're gonna stabilize our gatherings. You not call this ruffle simply? I don't know. And on this yellow strip,
I'm first gonna make sure that my lining strip has the same length as my ruffled strip, and then I'm gonna sew them together using a zigzag stitch in the seam allowances on both sides.
we still have to make a bag out of it. Do you already see a bag? I don't know, guys. I'm a little bit again. Kind of convinced that it would be much better as a skirt.
Shut up, just shut up, shut up.
Okay, babes, listen, I know you're tired. Personally, I'm also sick and tired of it at this point. But we're probably much closer to a bag than you might even realize. Yes, I promise you it was gonna be crazy. I'm basically gonna close the spiral with
Just one long. Oh, see. Sorry.
first spinning a little circle, which will be the width of the bag.
I feel like it's really gonna be very hard to pin it all around, so I'm just gonna sew it and hope that it will become a bag.
Stress!
And also let me know if you have any ideas of upcycling projects I can do on my channel.
For an extra edge, it's all gonna be inside out, a little bit of a raw edge, living on the edge kind of situation. Wait, was that a double pun?
So the scene gently downstream.
Except for that it was not that gentle and I broke my needle twice. Oh, yeah, watch out guys, it's a heavy fabric.
Take a thick needle in the machine.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Oh my god. What is this? Okay, let's close the bottom. Cut the corner a little bit, round that off here. And I want to close that with the other side. Thing is, if the fabric is gonna fold a little, nobody will ever see it with this gathered fabric.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
How would they know?
And the other end of the strip is gonna be the handle. So I'm basically just folding it in a way that looks a little bit nice. Maybe you even have to shorten it a little. It's just kind of as easy as it sounds. And on the other side of the back, I left a little hole in the seam so that I can pull my handle through it later and wear it in a more closed fashion. Okay, I don't think everybody is gonna like this bag as is. It's definitely a little bit more on the subversive side of fashion. Please, if you liked it, support the channel by liking the video or placing a comment. Comment your opinion, even if you say like this is so damn fugly. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next video because fashion show.
Oeh. Oeh. 20 seconden. Oh. 20 seconds. Oh my god, I can't do that. 20 seconds. Hello. I think it's fine. You shouldn't use violence.
Well, telling me that now, it seems to be negative.